Good morning, family, and welcome to Morning Heart Devotion with Rev.Chung Sik Yong, brought to you by our Heavenly Parents Holy Community. Let's begin by greeting our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. 천지인 참부모님께 경배. 바로. Now for our family pledge, 가정맹세 1. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 번향 땅을 찾아 번연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇族권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 번연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천여국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. To open us up with prayer this morning, I'd like to invite up Mrs. Anne-Marie Mylar. If you pray for us this morning.
Let us pray. Dear beloved Heavenly Parent, we are so grateful to be able to live in this time in history where we could meet our true parents and we can still be with our true mother today. The suffering of humankind from the very beginning of time has caused you way too much sorrow. And today, we want to be able to be your champion. We want to be able to succeed. We want to be able to overcome everything within ourselves, as well as helping our brothers and sisters throughout the whole world to do the same, so that all of us can come back to your bosom under your dominion. Dear beloved God, we don't know everything about you. There is so much that we do not know, but we know enough to be able to give our entire lives to try to accomplish what is expected of us in order for your kingdom of heaven to be here on earth and in the spirit world, and grow Cheon Il Guk. Heavenly Parent, thank you for allowing us to be able to listen to you, your guidance through Dr. Yong. He is truly an amazing gift to this country, and I wish and pray sincerely that we will come to truly understand this. Heavenly Parent, we want you to be happy. We want you to enjoy ourselves, our lives, your life. We want you to be able to relax and have nothing to do but just love your children and not have to worry about them. That's why we do the things we do every day. Heavenly Parent, we pray that today will be a good day, a day where all of us remain centered on you at a 90-degree angle, creating no shadows, even if we are asleep in our dreams. We want to understand and follow the guidance of our true parents. They are special, unique individuals that have never been born before, and they are capable. They have given their whole life and their family. They have sacrificed everything in order to be able to bring joy to you, but not just to you, to all of us, humanity. Heavenly Parent, please, we want you to not have to worry. We want you to be able to have confidence that we will make everything happen the way you want it. Thank you for today, Heavenly Parent. This I pray along with all my brothers and sisters. And in the name of Kem and Anne-Marie Myler, blessed Central Family, I pray and I report. Aju.
Thank you, Anne-Marie Myler. Your absolute alignment is so clear through your prayer. I really appreciate. I miss your home. I hope someday I go to your home. Your house is so beautiful, very comfortable, like my home. Thank you, Anne-Marie Myler. God bless you.
Thank you, Aunt Marie. I also miss your home. We should visit sometime. And thank you for praying for us this morning. Okay, family, let's now go into our breakouts and share our appreciations with one another. See you back soon. right, brothers and sisters, I hope you enjoyed your breakout. And I'd like to invite first to share his appreciation, Mr. Jacques Fontaine. If you would share first for us this morning.
Good morning, everyone. This morning I was surprised. I was with Milan and I don't remember her name.
Boa.
Yeah, and it's so inspiring to be with young people to see their dedication and their communion with God. And Milan said something that made me think. So many times we tend to be too much in heaven and we forget earth. So it's very important to be balanced and take care of our spiritual life, but also take care of our physical life. As long as we're on the earth, we need to take care of our physical life as well. But if we take too much care of our physical life, we kind of go disbalance and our spiritual life is not properly taken care of, and all kind of problems start arising. So it's very important to be balanced, not to be too much in heaven and not to be too much on the earth. So it's something to think about. I'm very grateful for Milan for his comment about not being too much in heaven this morning. That's my gratefulness this morning.
Thank you.
I think there is no differences between heaven and earth. Not too much or what. As much as I love God, surely I love earthly world. As much as I truly love earthly world and people, I can love God. We need to think that there is no differences. Problems, there are something differences, then our attitude is not so beautiful. That's why how to not too much. Not we cannot say it like that. We really have that kind of the unity and then oneness between God and me. That is our challenging all the time. Anyway, thank you so much, Jack. I did not see a long time, but today I'm so happy to hear your voice. Thank you so much, Jack and Fontaine. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Uncle Jacques. And yeah, Dr. Young, I'm more referring to, the blessing and when my wife, she when she feels like my head's in the cloud, and then it's good to create that unity. I think it's important. Right? Yeah. Okay, to share next, let me invite up Koa Shidotori. Share next.
That was perfect. Shirotori. Yeah.
Shidotori, right?
Koa-chan.
Dr. Young, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Lovely to see you and everyone as well. Yeah, thank you, Milhan. And I had Uncle Jacques in my breakout room this morning. It was really cool. I guess my gratitude point, I was telling Milhan, I'm kind of meshing this into a gratitude point, but it's for an auntie in District 10. And she is going to have surgery at 8:30 and today, and it's 5:20 in Texas right now. So she's kind of in our time zone here. So we're really praying for her that the surgery goes well, every surgeon that's going to be working on her, that they can have a clear mind and just a clear spirit and just everything in the room, that it can be really kind of protected, and just that all my ancestors, all our ancestors can be with her right now. And we're praying for her. And she's just a very wonderful person in our community. And
What's her name and how old is she?
I can't say. She didn't want to be mentioned. Okay. But just if I know there are many people watching, so if you could just send a prayer her way. Yeah, Dr. Young too. Just to be aware of Auntie today and people with breast cancer. So just praying for them, and it must be hard. So yeah, That's kind of gratitude. And
Thank you, Koa. I hope you really need to focus on carb activity. So far, you are doing very well. We need to bring substantial result, Koa. Okay?
Aju. Thank you,
So
Dr. Young.
you need to be
Okay.
a model of carb activity. Thank you so much, Koa.
Yeah, thank you so much, Koa, and your concern and love for others is really beautiful. Thank you. Which is what will bring us results for carb, for sure. So thank you, family, for joining us today. Let's welcome up Dr. Young for our morning heart devotion.
안녕하세요. Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, clergy and ambassador for peace. 안녕하십니까? So every day, we are so grateful and thankful. As long as we carry on that kind of the gratitude, our life is very, very meaningful and powerful. We can overcome any difficult circumstances and situation. That is the power of the gratitude. This is God's will in any circumstances. So we can overcome through our appreciation and gratitude. Today, I'd like to introduce and through Mother's message, Cheon Il Guk Victory celebration, commemorating the events, making the 9th anniversary of the holy ascension of Sun Myung Moon, the two parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. And then today, I think going to finish it, we send through Mother's message, like a Chunbo, through Father's ascension time. So then, and from tomorrow, I'd like to start again about the True Mother's book. So let's invite our beautiful honey.
True Mother's message, Cheon Il Guk Victory celebration, commemorating the events marking the 9th anniversary of the holy ascension of Sun Myung Moon, the true parent of heaven, earth, and humankind. September 19, by the heavenly calendar, in the 9th year of Cheon Il Guk, October 24th, 2021, Chungshim Peace World Center and online. Heaven blessed the Korean Peninsula to become the birthplace of true parents, and for this we are thankful. My dear leaders and blessed families around the world sharing this day together. This is a happy day. We know how much Heavenly Parent has waited for this first step toward living in the kingdom of heaven on earth, where Heavenly Parent's dream has been realized, the dream of all people living together with true parents, attending Heavenly Parent's embodiment on earth. To bring about that day when our Heavenly Parent can begin living on the earth plane, Heaven blessed the Korean Peninsula to become the birthplace of true parents. And for this, we are thankful.
Thank you. Consider the indemnity that the nation of Israel had to pay because Jesus was born in Israel, but was not welcomed and died on the cross. Even though Dr. Young is a Korean, I am a Korean. God bless the Korean Peninsula and send true parents. But if you do not fully accept true parents, think about the suffering of Korean people in the future. Therefore, Korea truly realizes the importance of responsibilities for the remainder of the life as long as the true mother is alive, centering on blessed families of Korea. Continue.
The Korean people still have to awaken to their calling. In light of today's reality, however, we can see that the Korean people still have to awaken to their calling. True parents have desired that Korea, a nation that heaven has blessed, become a unified nation that attends heaven. We desire that Korea and its people can confidently speak of and demonstrate to the world the way of life of attending heaven. With that hope in mind, true parents held on to heaven to this day in an unthinkable environment. In the situation in which Christianity has not been able to fulfill its responsibility, we have invested all our devotion and effort as the true parents, ensuring that the United States and Japan would surely come together as one. Words cannot describe how God toiled to create this environment in which we can contemplate tomorrow with hope.
Even in such an environment that Korea, Japan, and the United States do not welcome, it is truly surprising that true parents are paying the indemnity on a cosmic level and laying the groundwork for today. We should really be thankful for true parents' hard work and devotion. We should be really thankful for true parents for laying the tangible foundation for the future providence with hope as the foundation for their indemnity and victory. Together with True Mother, we are now on the original course of God's creation. After the declaration of the Cheon Il Guk, which no one has been to in history. We are going along with the True Mother on a path that True Father has not been able to experience. How amazing is that? And in editing the foundation of True Parents' victory from now on, we must take responsibility for the providence of Cheon Il Guk, Cheon Il Guk's expansion with the spirit of the ownership. Continue.
We realize that heaven surely has been preparing for this one day. Based on the course of true parents' hard work that has deeply touched both heaven and earth, and with the beginning of the age of the Asia-Pacific civilization, many countries around the world are, together with true parents, jointly seeking out and taking the path to a truly peaceful world. Based on our feelings upon listening to Director General Yoon's report about his visit to Cambodia, we realize that heaven surely has been preparing for this one day.
From now on, True Mother says that the end of the providence will come to fruition in Korea, centering on Asia Pacific civilization area.
God's difficult work to bring forth true leaders and righteous people who can stand at the vanguard of this effort. National level leaders from various faiths have resolved to uphold true parents' teachings and work together to forge the path to a world of peace. They are pooling their expertise and wisdom for the purpose of creating a world wherein all people live together as one peaceful family, which is our Heavenly Parents' dream. We know that no words can describe God's difficult work to bring forth true leaders and righteous people who can stand at the vanguard of this effort.
We already heard from Dr. Yoon's report how he dealt with the Cambodia government, and he met the Prime Minister of the Cambodia, how he negotiating about the, North and South Korea problems. I am telling you that why that come the object partner and righteous person, or that come the nation appear in front of true mother. I always remind our true fathers one of the important principles. A perfect plus creates a perfect minus. The objects corresponding to true mother's determination and honest desire are bound to appear. This is the truth of this universe. The reason why our dreams don't come true, why don't come true, is because we don't have the honest and desperate heart to make our dreams come true. Secondly, because they did not pay the price to make that dream come true. My brothers and sisters, I am telling you over and over again and again. Water only boils at 100 degrees. If the degrees of our devotion and 정성 does not reach 100 degrees like the temperature of the water, our dreams will not come true. God and spirit world never move. The reason we offer our prayers and devotion is so that our honest and then desperation may reach a throne of God with our utmost devotion and 정성. We must be so desperate that the throne on which God sits must move. Because of True Mother's determination and wish for the reunification of Korea, so great, so desperate, so honest. That's why countries like Cambodia and righteous people will surely appear. My brothers and sisters, perfect plus can create perfect minus. As much as I love God, that much my object or partner definitely appear. Why my object partner do not appear? Because my honestness and my desperation is not that much strong, not reach to the heaven. That's why definitely, according to the amount of my degree of the 정성, that much my object partner appear. That is universal principle. Continue.
Heaven cannot wait any longer. Yes, heaven cannot wait any longer. The blessed families of the unification community, especially the blessed families of Korea, have a big responsibility. To take the first step in transforming Korea into a nation that attends heaven, you need to trust in God, become one with True Mother, the only begotten daughter, and fulfill your responsibility during the 6 months remaining from the Sangwa anniversary to the end of the lunar year. On the day you accomplish this, heaven will be together with us. That will be the day on which we realize our dream and our heavenly parents' dream. I ask you to please keep this in your heart and to do your very best.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. True Mother again and again stresses that heaven cannot wait any longer. In that sense, True Mother says that the blessed families of the unification family have a great responsibility. And she says that the responsibility among those responsibilities is the providence of Cheon Il Guk. So my brothers and sisters, even though it takes time, if you have a desperation, if you really have an honest heart, with your utmost sincerity, God surely show the way how to achieve the goal. Do not say because of the financial reason, because of that, this and that. If you really determine with your desperation, God always show the way. You know, God really will mobilize the spiritual world according to your determination, according to the degree of your 정성. Surely God is alive. God is a living God. Surely show the way how to achieve the goal. Living divine principle. Today, the last series of the absolute sex. Please read.
God is the subject and harmonious union of original internal nature and original external form, the harmonious union of original masculinity and original femininity, the subject partner having qualities of internal nature and masculinity towards the universe.
Based upon this EDP content, let's study Father's word centering on absolute sex. Please.
The reason we must be respectful before our partner. If men and women understand that their sexual organs belong to their partners, they must receive love with their heads bowed in respect. Love comes from our partners. If we have no partner, there is no love. Because we realize that love comes from our partners, we must be respectful before our partners. In a place where people do not work for the benefit of others, there can be no love. You must understand that only by absolutely living for the sake of your spouse will you be able to receive absolute love.
Wow. True parents made a surprising and revolutionary declaration that the male and female sexual organs belong to their spouses. How many people know this truth? Many people say, my sexual organ belong to me. What are you talking about? They do not know Heavenly Father's wisdom. Another surprising proclamation is that men are born for women and women are born for men. Therefore, the owner of a man is the woman, and the owner of the woman is the man. This kind of declaration was made based on the truth for the sake of the universe. According to this logic, from the point of view of true love, the owner of man is God. And the owner of God is a man in the position of his children. That is, parents are all owned by their children. That is, a subject partner belongs to the object partner, and the object partner belongs to the subject partner. This is an amazing principle. We can say that this is a dual characteristics. No, I am me, you are me. This kind of inseparable relationship, okay, where there is a subject partner, there is an object partner. Subject partner belong to object partner belong to God. God belong to human being belong to God. That's why ownership, do not say, I'm the owner. You belong to God. We need to understand this concept very, very clearly. Therefore, my sexual organ is not mine. So it must be kept holy until the owner appears. It is a thief to use one's own sexual organ without the owner's permission or to abuse and play with it. And true parents explain why people should be humble. Very clear. Why have to be humble? Because love cannot create itself. It must come from object partner. You cannot create love, right? You cannot create joy and happiness by yourself. You are just living alone. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year. You are lonely or are you happy still? If you can create love and joy by yourself, then we no need to have no need God. No need to have my object partner. No need anyone, because I can create joy and happiness by myself. However, if you are just alone, maybe a few days okay, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, what do you feel? You are very lonely. It means love all comes from object partner. As long as love comes from object partner, to receive love, you need to be humble. You really need to be humble. You really need to serve people. From this point of view, the principle of the universe is the logic of the living for the sake of others from 1 to 10. Okay, another content.
God is the owner of the sexual organs. Today, we are witnessing a world that is in a culture of hell. How can we change this world? It is only possible centering on God's love. What kind of love is it? It is absolute, unique, unchanging, eternal love. This begins from the sexual organs. Up until now, the sexual organs have been used as a weapon by Satan. Therefore, up until now, God has hated the sexual organs. So, how can we liberate the sexual organs? God will come looking for the liberated sexual organs. God is the owner of the sexual organs. Isn't that right? So how can you deny it? Now you understand this clearly. Let's all participate in this great achievement.
Thank you. Then who owns our sexual organ? What we need to know clearly is that owner of my sexual organ is not mine, but the one who created me. Sometimes Father expressed my sexual organ belong to my spouse. Sometimes Father said belong to heavenly parents. And then sometimes Father said belong to our own parents. That's why we need to clarify this one. In that sense, the first owner of my sexual organ is God. Because God, He's the one who created human being. The second is that my sexual organ belongs to my parents because I came from my parents. Third, my sexual organ belongs to my spouse. And fourth, my sexual organ belongs to my children and my descendants. My brothers and sisters, I emphasize over and over again, the last 1 year. What does faith mean? Faith is treating myself as God's belonging. Again, treating myself as God's belonging. My eyes, my nose, my mouth, my sexual organ, my hands and my feet are all God's belonging because God, He's the one who created me. The fourth is thinking of everything is my own. My children, my husband, my parents, my property, everything me. That comes the concept of the me. If the concept of I or mine is included, it is Satan. So how do we eradicate the free sex? It is nothing but education about absolute sex. Very clear. How to liberate from the free sex? We need to know that the value of absolute sex. What does absolute sex mean? This is very, very important. Then what to do? We need to educate from the young children how much important it is. If you're using the free sex, immature love, then destroy yourself. Because our sexual organ, very, very precious. We have to be free from the free sex. We need to have absolute sex. Understand what I'm talking about? Fallen man's love is immature love, not related to God's love. That's why until we become mature, until we possess the God's true love, we need to have a lot of training. If we go to the ocean and parents talk to children, don't go to the ocean if you do not know how to swim. If you do not know how to swim and go to the ocean, you try to swim, you surely die. However, you know how to swim, then water is free. You can go everywhere. That's why God said, if you eat the fruit of knowledge of good and evil, you surely die. Because you don't know how to handle true love, immature love. However, you know how to handle true love, centering on God. You are totally free, my brothers and sisters. Continue.
The road that the Family Federation for World Peace must follow. How can we make absolute, unique, unchanging, eternal love? We do this with our sexual organs. How can we protect those sexual organs? That is the road that the Family Federation for World Peace must go. Without this kind of concept, it will be impossible to create a free world that is eternally free from Satan. Everybody who supports this idea, raise your hands. Everybody raises their hands. You have all made a promise. When you go home, say to each other, this absolute sexual organ, this unique sexual organ, this eternal sexual organ, this unchanging sexual organ is not mine, but yours. And I will protect it for you very well. And as you say it, be thankful toward each other. And you must say to each other, if you give such precious love to me, I will serve you in love eternally. Starting from families who can do that, a world organized with families where our absolute, eternal, unique, and unchanging God can directly enter will be established.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. The Father said, do you know why I created the Family Federation for World Peace? He said, to declare absolute sex. That's why Father saying here, from now on, the road that Family Federation for World Peace should take is clearly defined. It is to educate all mankind about absolute sex. Here, according to Cheon Il Guk translation of this part, something kind of a mistranslation. They do not directly translate here. So I want to directly translate like that. If we translate the word of true parents here directly, he say that the wife and husband should hold on to each other's sexual organ and make a pledge. First, my sexual organ is yours and your sexual organ is mine. Secondly, our sexual organ is the absolute sexual organ, the only sexual organ, the eternal sexual organ, the unchanging sexual organ. So I will keep it for you forever. True parents says that families who know and practice the value of this absolute sex sexual organ go directly to the kingdom of heaven. Today's youth ministry, again, Jacob's course. I think a few days more, I'm continuously talking about Jacob's course. We can learn so many things through central figures. Leah who forget her position. So I'd like to invite Heavenly Honey again to read this Bible verse.
Genesis chapter 29, verses 16 to 32. Jacob marries Leah and Rachel. Laban had 2 daughters. Leah was older than Rachel, but her eyes didn't sparkle, while Rachel was beautiful and had a good figure. Since Jacob was in love with Rachel, he answered, "If you let me marry Rachel, I'll work 7 years for you." Laban replied, "It's better for me to let you marry Rachel than for someone else to have her. So stay and work for me." Jacob worked 7 years for Laban, but the time seemed like only a few days because he loved Rachel so much. Jacob said to Laban, "The time is up, and I want to marry Rachel now." So Laban gave a big feast and invited all their neighbors. But that evening, he brought Leah to Jacob, who married her and spent the night with her. Laban also gave Zilpah to Leah as her servant woman. The next morning, Jacob found out that he had married Leah, and he asked Laban, "Why did you do this to me? Didn't I work to get Rachel? Why did you trick me?" Laban replied, "In our country, the older daughter must get married first. After you spend this week with Leah, you may also marry Rachel, but you will have to work for me another 7 years." At the end of the week of celebration, Laban let Jacob marry Rachel, and he gave her his servant woman Bilhah. Jacob loved Rachel more than he did Leah, but he had to work another 7 years for Laban. The Lord knew that Jacob loved Rachel more than he did Leah, and so he gave children to Leah, but not to Rachel. Leah gave birth to a son and named him Reuben, because she said, "The Lord has taken away my sorrow. Now my husband will love me more than he does Rachel."
God. Leah who forget her position. Leah was deeply saddened by Jacob's love for her sister Rachel more than herself, but she rejoiced in having sons. She was overjoyed as her husband also rejoiced to see her sons and felt that God had granted her wish as well. However, Leah's satisfaction was not the satisfaction shared with the people around her, but more of a self-centered satisfaction. When you are joyful, but people around you are disappointed, this is not complete joy. Having feelings of disappointment centered on yourself, then feeling joyful when your wish comes true is nothing but self-centered joy to the end. Therefore, in our life of faith, most of the things that are disappointing or joyful are self-centered. It is not like expressing those feelings in a public position where you are concerned about the whole. It would have been good if Leah had a good natured heart and said about her relationship with her younger sister Rachel, "It is only natural that my husband and younger sister are close. I am just grateful to be in the shadow of them." For Jacob's first wife should have been Rachel. It was not at all in Jacob's plan that Leah became Jacob's wife. Leah must think from Rachel's point of view. From Rachel's point of view, overnight, it would be that The man she loved had been taken away by another woman. If Leah had such a mind, her level of heart would have risen. If Leah become very, very humble and feel so sorry to the Rachel, if Leah saw that Jacob and Rachel had such a loving relationship and naturally accepted it, her artistic level would have elevated. What we can learn from the relationship between Leah and Rachel is that there is a limitation when fallen human beings go beyond self-centeredness. Humans express joy and disappointment according to the background they are born in and depend on their environment. Most people find it difficult to escape the level of heart in the background they were born in. Leah lived always comparing to Rachel, comparing herself to her maid, her envious and then jealous. Most people look around themselves and are subjugated by the environment. There is no need to think that somebody is receiving more love than me. Think that I am receiving the most love I can receive. There is no need to compare how much love others receive. We can always live in gratitude for environment we are given. But we always compare ourselves to others and forget our original position. We should live with gratitude and do the best as much as our intellectual ability, lovability, and what we currently have. But reality is that we are unable to do so. If you always forget your position, you will feel disappointment and your mood will go up and down. How did Leah become Jacob's wife? Originally, Jacob was supposed to marry Rachel, but Laban tricked him into letting Leah and Rachel newlyweds room. Then, knowing this background, what kind of attitude should Leah have had? Leah should have had a really sorry heart toward her sister, Rachel, and think, my sister Rachel had Jacob should really be affectionate with each other. But what if Rachel is at us with Jacob because of me? Leah should have realized what motivated her to be loved by Jacob. Leah was to cherish her sister Rachel just like her husband Jacob did. This is because she is the younger sister that her husband loves. Even in our life of faith, we forget our position, cover it horizontally, compare, feel disappointment about it, complain, and feel joy. I always need to know who my center is. I must feel joy and sorrow centered on them. If you live centered on yourself, disappointment comes very easily. There will be more comparisons and complaint and dissatisfaction will arise. Your emotions should always be chosen through the center. I'd like to share my fallen nature. When I was involved with South America, Providence, Father mobilized 33 national messiahs in South America, Central Africa, Central America and South America. My mission is, commoners of Dominica as a national messiah. And then Father invited all national messiah to come to the Brazil. And I joined for 40 days. And then Father always talked to the senior blessed couple, those who sit down in front of the Father. and then talk to them long time. We are just the middle part of the, audience. I felt that, my fallen nature came out. Oh, Father, only love 36 couple, 72 couple, only senior plus couple. Maybe Father do not love us, do not love me. I a little bit was disappointed. That was my fallen nature. And then that night, true Father came to my dream. I lay down with the Father sleeping together. And then I see someone giant guy sleep with me together. And then I woke up and I, sit down. And then this giant man also woke up and sit down beside me. I recognized that he was the Father. Father, show me his smile. And then Father, he's eating the, some Korean cookie. It looks so delicious. And he eat this cookie by himself. He do not give me. And then Father look at me and said, do you want to eat this, Korean cookie? Yes, Father. Do you know how does he give me? And then, this small cookie, he put this small cookie in his mouth and then his saliva. Many times. And then asked me to open my mouth and then put in that Korean cookie to my mouth. Do you know, when mother raise a baby, to give rise to the baby and then make it soft many times, chew in mother's mouth, right? Other woman cannot do like this. Only her mother or his mother can do like that. That means what? True Father, how much loves me? Why you compare with the 36 couple? You already received so much love from Father. You need to know that your position. Wow, I discovered my fallen nature. And I repent. Since that time, I never compare. How amazing it is. My brothers and sisters, when God created Adam and Eve, have loved them more than archangel in the position of a servant. The archangel was greatly disappointed and saddened. However, the archangel had to know well what Adam and Eve's position was. Adam and Eve's position is a children's position. Archangel position is a position of a servant. But this archangel really compare why God loves Adam and Eve more than me. And the archangel, he knows that. He need to know his position is a position of a servant. How can compare? He need to know his original position. My brothers and sisters, this kind of mistakes made by the archangel are still being repeated today again and again. To overcome this, don't compare yourself to those around you. And just appreciate the reality and the position you have been given. If we always compare ourselves, we will leave our original position and Satan will come to us. If I am lacking, I am grateful for what I am lacking. If I love and thank myself for the position I am in, God will move me and fill the missing part with blessings. We learn very important things from Leah and Rachel's relationship. So, do not compare. What God gave me, I really appreciate. Everybody different destination, everybody different background from our ancestors. What is my job? Do not compare, just appreciate. And I am so grateful. I am so thankful. Someone have a very rich, maybe different ancestor background. I am very poor. I need to pay something on behalf of my ancestor. There is something reason. Or through that kind of the poor about the situation, God maybe want to raise up me more than other people. We do not know. That's why do not easily compare. I have my own course. I have my own destination. I love my ancestor. I have to be responsible no matter what my ancestor background. That's why do not compare. Just appreciation. Grateful, thankful. This is the point, our life of faith. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Young. So much important content, especially for those of us, most of us in the cane position. And so, brothers and sisters, yes, let's really find gratitude and the love that God is giving us that we may not be aware of and maybe come to us in our dreams. So thank you, family. Let's go into our breakouts now and share our reflection on today's content. See you back soon. back, family. Hope you enjoyed your breakout. I apologize in advance, Dr. Young. I think our discussion was completely different from your content today, but let's see how we share. Let me first invite up Mrs. Megumi Lindstrom. You share first your reflection.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, it was so nice here, Milhan-san. I really moved your testimony. So I think you should give testimony. Yeah, we cannot move other people's heart by force. Really, love can change. And I have a son and a wife and a daughter-in-law. They have only one child and she's 4 years old. I really want have them more, but the wife is so the only one. She won't have only one, you know. But today, thank you. Dr. Yon's word is amazing, and also Milhan-san's word is really give me big hint. Thank you. That's it.
I do not understand what are you talking about the detail, but anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
And Dr. Young, that's just the absolute sex. You know, it was very interesting. Very, very interesting. Last 3 days. So thank you so much. And thank you, Megumi-san. To share next, can I invite up Mr. and Mrs. Bowman, Uncle Jackson, and Kyoko-san? Unmute, please.
Mira was expressing to having a third children or not. I said it's basically your decision for both couple has to do. But however, if you're willing to sacrifice yourself, you know, the major thing young people that right now we have is financially, emotionally, and timely. It's very difficult to have many children. So up to you. But however, when somebody asks the mother, you know, 3 children, and it's balanced it. And so I hope, you know, if your love is big enough and sacrificing more for future sake, your children not your own. You know, that's from humankind. And my daughter had passed when he was 31, left 4 children. And she said, Mother, my contribution in the world is these 4 children. She left behind 4.
My God.
You know, so I don't know everybody how you feel.
Yeah.
And you think about that. Another content we think about, we are having children for family or world or God, you know. So I hope Mira make a good decision.
So I think Kyoko-san, can never lose. Why your daughter passed away earlier? We do not know the reason, but God knows the reason. But what do we believe? God never ever lose. Because of her offering, sacrificial condition, we do not know how God's providence more rapidly can go on. What kind of great blessing come to your descendant, we do not know. That's why there is a reason very clearly. You need to know that. Can never lose. Can never lose. There is a meaning. Definitely there is a meaning. That's why we always have to be grateful. Thank you so much. And also the Kyoko-san, I was so busy could not contact your son. I think my personal Secretary General will contact your family within few days with your son. And then please, let's give and take well. Okay, why don't you go to Jackson? Why don't you share, Jackson?
I shared at one time I was at Belvedere and listening to True Father speak. And then he pointed to, this is related to having children, but he pointed to a sister and he pointed to me and he said, get up on the stage with us. So we were like four of us, Colonel Hahn, opposite father representing the wife, and the sister and me, and we were like the family. And he said, this is a really good family. But then he lifted his foot up and he hit in the middle and he said, but ideally 3 is better. 3 is at least 3. And then I prayed about it. One reason is if you have 2, you have a Cain-Abel relationship, or at least you have a dominant one and a submissive one. But if you have 3, the 2 submissive ones can conquer, or they can balance out the dominant one. And so 3, at least 3 is better, and more is better if you can handle it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because the world is, you have to deal with lots of people, not just one person.
Father mentioned, I think he said 1 is not enough, 2 is not enough. Minimum 3, Father always talking about. And then also Father said, as God giving you 4 or 5 or 6. This is really you need to receive as the God's gift. Do not decide how many children do I have. Do not put your own intention, but Father can say at least the minimum you need to have that condition. Adam's family have 3 children representative, and Noah's family 3 children representative. Jesus have the 3 disciples. True Father has a major 3 disciples. This number 3 is like a kind of the very important meaning. This is a Trinity. Yeah. Thank you very much, John Jackson and Kyoko, for your beautiful sharing. 감사합니다.
I always thought that if you have to have 3, because in case Cain kills Abel, then someone has to carry on the Abel position. All right, family. Thank you for sharing this with us today. Let's have
I think Miran, at least you have minimum dozen children.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, we accept all kinds of support with that. All right, family. Okay, so number 1, please invite someone to this Zoom call, this chance to share the Holy Spirit with one another as a family. Number 2 is joyfully give from your heart, offer a prayer and see how God inspires you to give. And we have some more announcements again. So the prayer rally for peace on the Korean Peninsula, 7 p.m. Eastern today, tomorrow. We can watch it live at rallyofhope.us, and we'd like you to also register for the 2-way live stream so you can be there and support our True Mother with your presence. I always tell my kids whenever I join the 2-way live stream is I get I dress up suit and tie. I tell them I'm going to Korea. And, it's true. We really are going to Korea. So you get that blessing. Okay, now for our musical offering, let's welcome up Uncle John Kirkley.
Hello, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You are still from Kenya? I thought you already came back to New York.
The first message was that I was supposed to return on Sunday, November 28th. The second message, you commented on that, but the second message was I canceled the reservation and made a new reservation for April 30. So I've been here 3 months and I've signed up for 5 months. So an American saying, Dr. Yong, is that I'm a hog for punishment.
Okay.
So there was there's no way to describe the beauty of yesterday's musical offering and the husband-wife cooperation. And there was some talk about having all the songs in this month as Christmas songs. But I prepared one of my lifetime top 10 favorites. I didn't have time to prepare a Christmas song, so here goes. But Dr. Young, this is the song, I'm convinced, this is the song that the Messiah sings when he goes witnessing. Oh, my little lambs wandering on the lonely plain, someday you may fall overcome by your despair. Weak, wounded soul, no one will come to comfort you. Alone you have no one to love you, no one to bring the truth. Oh, my little lambs, here is the one who heals your sin. Oh, see how he carries the cross and leads the way. Come, follow him, he is the shepherd you have sought. Without him you tremble in weakness, far from the path of life. Oh, my little lambs, hunger and thirst may torture you. Receive him completely with all that you have. You shall be healed, heavenly strength will fill your soul, and deep, boundless joy will swell within you eternally. Oh, my little lambs, now is the time for joyful heart. Sing praise to the Lord, raise your voices in strength. Love all mankind, love everyone throughout the world. Give them the love that I give you, oh my little lamb.
Oh, my little lamb. John Cockley, you have really young spirit. Wow, I'm really admired by you joining from Africa, Kenya without missing even single day. I really incredible. My feeling your such kind of incredible commitment. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, John Cockley. Please take care of your health very well. Thank you. Not you.
You're welcome.
You are really little lamb. You are not old lamb, okay? Oh my God.
Thank you, Uncle John, Little John. To close us out with prayer, can I invite up Mrs. Sonoko Steinbron? Unmute, please.
Yes, I do. Okay, let us pray. Dearest Heavenly Parent, beloved true parents, we thank you so much for today we gather together to listen your words. You are speaking to each one of us so precious, precious words that we will be really grow and resurrect and be close to you. We felt so much love from you. We thank you so much. And we want to really continue to devote ourselves, our effort each day to reach to your expectation, reach to your ideal. We really want to long for you for that. And then we want to really support two mothers, unite with her to build the kingdom of heaven together. Cheon Il Guk. Heavenly Parents, we really pray especially for upcoming events tonight and tomorrow. The very important providence is going on in Korea. Our heart goes there and really want to support all the events centered on True Mother to bring victory. Heavenly Parents, we thank you so much for this time centered on Dr. Yong. We could gather and we offer this time of devotion. We offer this prayer together with brothers and sisters' precious prayers. In the name of Richard Sonoko, Steinbrand Blessed Center family. 아주
소노코 스테이번상 감사합니다. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Sonoko-san, for your prayer. And thank you all again for joining this morning devotion, making it such a beautiful experience. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow. God bless.
All right. 감사합니다, my brothers and sisters.